Hey everyone, it's Frederick Kramer here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how you can double the amount of calls that you book with the outbound method, so usually outreach. And for some context, I've done that in the past with loads of different clients and loads of different niches as well, and I've built systems for them that got them a consistent amount of calls. And this is not supposed to be some advert or something, just some context that you know that I actually know what to talk about, and also on multiple different platforms, etc, etc, etc. However, there are a few minor things that you can actually change to your outreach, and some people actually don't do that. They don't require much effort, but actually get you to book like double or 3-4 times the amount of calls. And of course, when you book that much more calls, you're also going to make that much more money. And in case you don't know me yet, my name is Frederick Kramer, and I'm on a mission to revolutionize productivity by helping agency owners double, triple, or quadruple the speed at which they get rich. So without further ado, let's get into that. Today's video is basically going to be just about follow-ups, because follow-ups are incredibly important for outbound. A few things that I want to talk about before that actually is because you could still fuck it up when you send follow-ups, right? You want to reach out to people that you found manually or on a software where you know 100% of the people that you are talking about are really good, like qualified leads, and not some random like stuff from like some lead scraping software. If you don't know that, or if you don't know whether the people are actually qualified, then chances are that they aren't. If you know that they're qualified, then I'll correct that a little bit and say they're only qualified when they are 100% in your niche, 100% in case you have that, in the amount of like income level that they have, or at least they could afford your service, right? And most people actually can. And they actually speak your language, and they are active on their platforms, and they are not a lead that has been reached out to by loads of other people that use the same list as you, right? So that's a few things that are really important for actually finding leads, right? And also, of course, that it isn't a fake account or something, but that's usually the case. So when people send emails, they usually send like 40,000 emails or something per month or whatever. And basically waste is like really inefficient, and they pay a lot of money and could be way more effective, right? Especially when you have status at some point. I just wanted to quickly get that out of the way, make sure that you have manually sourced leads, or that you at least have a software, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, for example, that can actually do that really well and at least like get you people that are qualified without you doing it manually, right? So that's the first thing. Then of course, have a decent account setup that doesn't look like you actually have, and it literally doesn't matter if you do that on social media or on email. Just make sure that your accounts look serious and that people want to book calls with you. And unfortunately, Americans, or because most leads are actually in America, but also people from Europe, they just have bad experience with people from, for example, India that scam them, or at least they don't have nearly as much trust. That's not something that I can change, but if you want to get more replies, chances are you're going to get more replies by having a profile that just looks like the people that you're targeting as well. I don't like it, but it's going to help you, right? So that's basically that. And also just, yeah, make sure that you don't overcomplicate your account. Make sure that people can see you as a person, see that you are a person, see that you have a life, see that you make content maybe, right? Like all these things are just going to improve it a lot. But now, when we have that out of the way, follow-ups. I just wanted to quickly talk about the things at the beginning, because if you don't have them, then of course nothing makes sense, and I can't help you double the amount of calls that you book, because you probably don't book no calls at all when you don't have these at the beginning, right? So follow-ups are important, of course, because people don't remember that you reached out to them. Follow-ups are just there to make sure that people that forgot about your message see your message again and do that. They leverage the familiarity bias, meaning that when you see something more often, you're going to trust it more. They're going to also get people that checked it, didn't want to reply because of just like some like pain avoidant behavior or something, because they didn't want to be disagreeable. It's going to get them to also reply to you. And actually, it can also persuade people that didn't initially want to see what you actually have to offer or whatever, to actually do that. Sorry. And they can also just add more trust in case you have like case studies or something, right? So powerful follow-ups are, sorry, I'm a bit tired, are incredibly powerful. And things that you need to look out for follow-ups is, of course, on email, you need to be a bit careful, because you can't send too many follow-ups on email initially. You should maybe send like 3 or something, but if like in case something huge like changed with deliverability rules in the last like 3-4 months or something, maybe it's even less than that. But when people didn't reply to you yet, you should maybe send like 1 or 2 follow-ups. And when people did reply to you, then you could send them a lot of follow-ups, okay? And especially on email, the difference is huge when people actually reply to you, because then it's really safe to also like send them links and images and everything, because when they didn't do that in the past, like when they never reply to you, then it's not safe like at all to send them like images or links in your messages. On social platforms, it depends a bit like what platform you use, but it's also safer to send them more when they actually reply to you, right? Then next thing for follow-ups, don't make them long. If the first email was this long, then the follow-up should literally be like, I don't know, like, do you have any thoughts on XYZ message, right? Like really, really short things. Don't annoy the people. Don't repeat yourself. Don't like send everything like again. Make sure that you have their language of your niche. And follow-ups can also like, they can be funny, but they can also resonate with the people. And this is more like for the warm follow-ups. Like the first follow-ups should literally be like, just bumping this out to make sure you saw it or something. Or like, I know you're busy, so I just wanted to quickly remark, whatever, just come up with something on your own that not everyone else is using. If you come up with it on your own, then of course not everyone else is going to have it, right? So that's of course really decent and it's going to help you. And then when you actually send the follow-ups, no, actually, yeah, they can be funny, but they can also be like resonating with the people. Funny means you can literally just send the memes, and you probably know this when people already reach out to you. You can just like make some memes on their situations or something, or actually like some things that are particularly funny. And of course, you can be funny and resonate at the same time, but when things resonate, people just like that way more. So for example, of course, I help people that are already at a decent level in business, but they just want to scale like way further. And they have like all the like clients messaging them and stuff happening there, and like 10,000 different projects. Their team members don't do their work properly. And of course, in that context, you might, for example, take this one meme. I don't know if you know it, but there's like this meme where like the one train wants to go like here, but then like the other train comes and like smashes the other one away, and then you can say like you wanting to scale your business to 8 figures, and the other one is just like VAs, like no shows, poor staff members and stuff like that, and basically just trying to resonate with them. That works really well. That actually builds confidence, while it's also just remembering them to book calls with you, right? So that's really important, and then especially like really, really important is of course the consistency that you have with your follow-ups. And what you need to think about is that I book and used to book with like thousands and thousands of outreaches, probably I would say like 70 to 60% of my calls, whatever, of my calls with like from actually like follow-ups. Like hadn't I sent follow-ups, I probably would have booked like 25% or 30% of the calls that I actually booked, right? So it's a massive difference, and the follow-ups doesn't like they don't require much, right? On email you can literally just automate them. On social media, sorry, I'm not gonna like do some crazy stuff here with like editing or something, but on social media you can basically it's literally just like one text message per person, so it also doesn't take like that much time. And you also don't need to be like that careful that you don't send like all of them at once or something, because it's actually like it works well, at least like on Instagram or on LinkedIn, you don't send like that many messages anyway, right? So these work really well. And when you do that, like just make sure that you stay consistent, because it's not actually hard to do that. And in case you're thinking like, well, but the amount of messages that I send, like I just get like so overwhelmed with all the follow-ups. First of all, if you send like a lot of messages and you do that yourself, then you're probably reaching out to a list that was like automatically scraped or something, and not something where you manually check like other people actually qualified. And especially with emails, you can also just message like invalid emails as well, right? So you just need to be like really careful that the people that you're actually messaging are good. like if you need to have like good inputs, actually like get good outputs of your appointment booking system, of course. But when you send them, like just get a tracker, write down all the leads. Whenever like someone is replying to you, or like you just reach out to them, just put like in brackets the date where you need to like follow up with them. And then when it is the date, just search like in the document, just like search for today's date, and then just like follow up with other people respectively. And of course you can also just like add to like a table like the exact in like a Google Sheets, for example, right? You could just like put the actual like text into like a note block of like a I don't know how you call them, like these like little squares in like Google Sheets. I don't know how you call them, but you just like put the text in there as like a note, and then you can just like copy paste them from A to B, and you can immediately send them. So that's also really simple. And also, like if you want to have like a bit easier on socials, you might as well just do it with your phone. Can also save some time. But yeah, basically, if you're like just consistent with them, you have simple text there. It is resonating with the niche. It is in their language, and it's not like the same thing all the time, but it's also consistent. It's literally just going to double or triple the amount of calls that you book, right? Compared to when you don't send follow-ups. And also having like bad follow-ups is, of course, it could actually decrease the amount of calls that you book. So yeah, just make sure that that is working properly. And later, of course, when you have setters, like they can do all of the process as well. And of course, what's really, really powerful at some point, when you have a lot of case studies, is that you can just like send them like examples of how you got like people like XYZ result that your niche is really caring about. And of course, that is even like building more confidence and really like getting them bought in. And to the specific amounts, like when you reach out to people for the first time, depending on the sensitivity of the platform, do 1 to 3 cold follow-ups, and when people actually replied, you can send them like 7 to 9 follow-ups. So you can really like send them a lot of follow-ups, because some people, like every single time I send them like a follow-up, they just like view the message again and again and again. And I recently had someone where I sent like 4 or 5 follow-ups, and then he was like, okay, got you, I booked a call or something. And it's literally that simple, right? Like it's not about like being like unique. It's not even about being like super personalized or something, all that shit, where that's not even like scalable, right? It's just about like sending like a few extra words in a spaced amount of like time frame to just get people to actually book calls with you. So that's basically it for this video. It's like very simple, of course. It's just about follow-ups, but really like follow-ups do like a huge difference. And if you don't have them, and if you didn't implement them properly, then you can probably like double the amount of calls that you book, or maybe even more than that. And of course, it's powerful, right? So and you can also just like hand them to your setters, and you can automate a lot of that. So yeah, that's basically it for this video today. If you want to scale an agency, by the way, and you just think that you could do like 10 times more each day, but you just can't like actually happen to do it, right? Then you can check out the link in the description. It doesn't matter to me really if you click it or not, but what matters to me is that your time is being saved. So I just wanted to leave that door open. Really appreciate you watching this video. Just do this stuff, right? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.